Hey guys, welcome in to another bourbon video. I'm Alex, and I wanted to address these two bad boys of bottles, Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch and Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond 7 Year. Both are bottled and bond, both are 100 proof. The Heaven Hill is age dated 7 years, and the E.H. Taylor Small Batch isn't, but it's at least 4. Hence the bottled and bond, at the very least, it has to be that. There's been a lot of, well, I don't know about recent, but there has been hate on this bottle, the Heaven Hill 7 Year, due to the fact that a couple years ago, Heaven Hill had a 6-year product that was on the shelf, that was on the bottom shelf, and it was maybe like 15-20 bucks, I believe. It was like a green label, and people were going crazy for it. They loved it back in the day. Then 1 or 2 years went by. Heaven Hill rebranded it. They slapped another year to it, and they like more than doubled the price on it. So a lot of people were up in arms. But to be honest, everything's gone up in these past couple years. So even though I think Heaven Hill was one of the first earlier ones to do it before the initial boom, but now I think comparing this bottle at the current price that it stands for what it is, I think it really holds up really well against a lot of the other bottles. So a great thing is that I have been seeing Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond at Costco for about 45 bucks. It seems to be a little bit more readily available, and this is one of the bottles that I recommend to pretty much anyone, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, whatever you are. I think a lot of people get a lot of benefits from this bottle. I think it packs a really big punch. And same thing for E.H. Taylor Small Batch. I think this one is an amazing bottle to get for one of your first allocated bottles that you try to go on the delivery days. You try to hunt down the trucks, which is something I've never done. Liar! You got to do what you got to do to score a bottle. I don't know about paying secondary prices, even though secondary on this small batch isn't too bad. Where I'm at, it's around $75 compared to the MSRP, which is $45. There are a lot of other bottles that are marked up a lot more ridiculously, so this one isn't too crazy. But I think with enough hunting and with a little grit, you're able to score a bottle of these. And this one's another one of my favorites. Both of these I love using for old fashions, Manhattans, neat, on the rocks, sharing. It's good for pretty much everything. The jack of all trades, 100 proof, I think is amazing. And yeah, I haven't really tried them side by side before. 2 different distilleries, 2 different flavor profiles that I really enjoy. So here we go. Yeah, this thing smells awesome. It really, I get a lot of the classic nuttiness, sweet oakiness from Heaven Hill. A lot of people say like there's like a peanut. So this smells like how I think a bourbon should smell. I'm not getting much ethanol, even though it's a relatively fresh cork pop. I think I opened this bottle like 2 or 3 days ago. I'm getting nice sweet oak, very balanced. I'm not getting anything astringent. I'm not really getting a ton of ethanol. I'm not getting like a ton of proof, and the flavor isn't popping out either. It's not attacking me. But again, it is 100 proof, so I'm limiting my expectations here. But I think it's just really pleasant all around. It smells enticing. Like I want to go in for more on the nose, and I want to take a taste already. It's making my mouth water a little bit. But yeah, sweet oak, vanilla, caramel. It's just your traditional bourbon notes. I think is really great. Like there's nothing that stands out on the negative. And nothing's like blowing me out of the water either. But for 100 proof, like it doesn't need to. Like it needs to just be a nice, pleasant experience. It can for a daily drinker, for a mixer. All right, Colonel E.H. Taylor is next. Yeah, so this is a lot more traditional sweet oak, and here it's just so much sweeter, and I'm getting a lot more of the candies. My sweet tooth is really popping off here. I know when I reviewed the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, I got a lot of grape. I had a freaking grape counter. This thing, I'm getting similar. I am getting nice sweet grape candy. I'm getting strawberry, the blue raspberry, and grape Jolly Ranchers. I'm not really getting a ton of oakiness from here. If it is, it's extremely sweet, just like candied oak. So I think on the nose, from just personal preference, I enjoy the E.H. Taylor Small Batch more, but both are really good. I can be craving different things at different times. I could be in the mood for something a little bit more, with a little more mature. I think this one smells a little bit more traditional, whereas this one, where I just want to have like a dessert candy in my mouth, I'm gonna reach for this one. Okay, so we're going in. We're gonna try the Heaven Hill 7 Year. So right away, it completely coats my mouth. with a nice sweet oak. It reminds me of that sensation of, it's like if you ever have like gasoline and you're putting in your car and then you accidentally spill some somewhere and you see it spill, but then it pretty much evaporates like right away, like right in front of you. That's kind of the sensation that you get from this pour. Like it completely coats your mouth, so it's like it's spilled, it's all over. It coats it really nicely with sweet oak. There is a little bit of ethanol. I did get some of that, but then it just dries up right away, so it dries my mouth. But it leaves behind some really nice sweet oak flavors. Not too complicated, but let's go in again and see what else I can pull here. So I think the oak level is to the point where it's just before like campfire, like double oaked s'mores. Like it's not quite there. It's definitely just like sweet oak, not like nothing burnt. Like I'm not getting like toasted barrel effects, but if you do like those toasted barrels, a little bit more oak in your
damn little lady
oaky pours, I think this is right up your alley. It's great for what it is. Again, it's not like too toasted. I'm not getting like marshmallow, or I'm not getting any of like burnt oak, but I am getting a very nice sweet oak. That's really the only note I can really say. So it does give you a little bit of a Kentucky hug, but it's not too intense. I think it's very acceptable, in the acceptable range for the proof point, but I am getting a lot of flavor for the proof that I am experiencing, so I give that a pass. I'm perfectly fine with that. I definitely consider this finish on the medium, if not maybe even a little bit on the long end. I think the flavor lingers really well, especially for 100 proof. I think the flavor really lasts a long time. It is very one note, just sweet oak, but I am able to keep pulling the flavors out, and I'm able to enjoy it. So if you throw this in a mixed drink or with some ice or with some water or however you want to have it, it's gonna do the job, and the flavor and the proof is gonna punch through, so you're able to get a really nice experience even if you do mix it with stuff. And if you do want to have it neat, I think it's perfectly fine with that as well. Okay, so let's move on to E.H. Taylor's small batch. Okay, yeah, this thing's awesome. Bright, colorful candies come to mind when I think of this one. So yeah, for those of you that have sweet teeth, for those of you that have a sweet tooth, this bottle is definitely the way to go. Like you're not gonna regret getting this bottle. Yeah, so this bottle does drink more complex. I am able to pull again those flavors that I got on the nose, the candies. What I got on the nose transfers over really nicely on the palate. So those Jolly Rancher flavors, the strawberry, the blue raspberry, and the grape, yeah, I'm getting it, and it follows through on the barrel proof and even on the small batch. Like you do get that. It's a little bit more moderated. It's more controlled. It's not as explosive, but it's there and it's good and it's well balanced. There's really nothing bad I can say about this bottle. It's just so good, and for the price that it's at, like $45-50 if you get it at MSRP, this thing packs a punch. So usually in my experience, the people that are getting into bourbon, they really want to go more towards the sweet, smooth drinkers, and Buffalo Trace has really been nailing it with the sweetness, the candiness, the more bright flavors. It's a little bit against the grain from the more traditional bourbon flavors that you would get. So that's probably in part why these are harder to find with how limited they are and the allocatedness. None of that helps. So near the back end of the palate, I am getting a little bit of a sour note, like so maybe sour oak on the back end of the palate for E.H. Taylor. So some people may not be a fan of that. They may mistake that, or they may say that it is a little bit more astringent, a little bit less balanced, but I just see it as like sour Skittles. So yeah, picking a winner here just feels like picking a favorite child. Like I know everyone probably has one, but you're not allowed to say that. Like they're both perfect in their own way. They're both similar price, similar proof, similar experience, but just vastly different flavors. Like I can totally see myself choosing one over the other, or leaning it one way than another way, depending on the night. So if you have to put a gun to my head, I am gonna pick E.H. Taylor small batch as the winner tonight. I don't feel really good saying that, just because I know how good Heaven Hill 7 Year is, and I don't want to diminish how good Heaven Hill 7 Year is. I don't want to say that Heaven Hill lost, because I think they're both winners. They both definitely belong on my shelf, and I think they both belong on any bar, really. So I think Heaven Hill 7s, their advantage over E.H. Taylor is the availability. I think I have been seeing Heaven Hill 7-year sitting on the shelves a lot more. It's been at Costco pretty much every time I've been there now. So if you see it there, like, I think it's absolutely worth picking up. Every time I have my cart, I'm passing by, my heart skips a beat still because like I'm not used to seeing it on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get one. But I already have 2 at home, so I'm not gonna get one. And E.H. Taylor small batch, I'm sure most of you people watching,
what do you mean, you people?
have heard at least about E.H. Taylor. So you guys, I don't have to really hype this bottle up more than it already is. It is a hype bottle. It's a Buffalo Trace product. It's allocated, comes in a cool tube, and yeah, it is a cool tube. Yeah, so I feel like I'm starting to talk in circles. Like, both these bottles are great, both highly recommended, both are worth hunting for, both are definitely worth MSRP. Very different flavor profiles. Great. They're both not super complex. Both have a very nice, solid, medium finish. I think the Heaven Hill 7-year finish lasts a little longer, but I think the overall flavor, I tend to lean more towards small batch because the sweetness, the candies, the Jolly Ranchers, that's my jam. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for stopping by. I just wanted to highlight 2 of my favorite staple bourbons that belong on any bar, I think. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're able to pick something up. If you feel like it, leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, whatever you feel like. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So, salud!